feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG. And we are back with more Fallout spoilers. Hoo-ha. So first up, we have mechanized production. Two blue and two for enchantment aura. Reads enchant artifacts you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of the enchanted artifact. If you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one another, you win the game. So this is a win con and an absolutely on-point reprint for this set. Next up, we have Solemn Simulacrum. So, again, also known as Sad Robot, 4 mana for a 2/2 artifact creature golem. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tap, and shuffle. When he dies, draw a card. A staple for most commander decks. Next up, we have Hancock Ghoulish Mare. So, black and 2 for a 2/1. Legendary Zombie Mutant Advisor. Each other creature you control that's a zombie or mutant gets +X/+X, where X is the number of counters on Hancock Ghoulish Mare. He has Undying, so when he dies, if he has no +1/+1 counters on him, put a +1/+1 counter on him. And he returns to the battlefield under owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. So you can put him in a deck that gets +1/+1 counters along with zombies and or mutants. And you can proliferate those counters. So, hoo-ha, that'll go in the Mothman proliferate type of deck, which is mainly a lot of mutants and zombies and stuff. Hoo-ha. Next up is an entirely powerful new black targeted board wipe in Nuclear Fallout. So 2 black and X for a sorcery that reads, each creature gets twice -X/-X till end of turn. Each player gets X rad counters. And because it's -X/-X, that gets around your indestructible creatures. So, hoo-ha, this thing's going to see a lot of use across decks that use black. Assuming that your play group allows cards that are from universes beyond, which most people don't mind. But this is a wonderful, because you don't have to pay as much for your X to do board wipes for larger creatures. Next up, another powerful reprint in Guardian Project. I know this has been printed a lot recently, but it is an entirely powerful and useful card on any deck playing green. So green and 3 for an enchantment that reads whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card. Next up, we have Powder Ganger. These guys are like explosives and like to destroy things. They're kind of rogues, like they are here in the game. So, red and 2 for a 2/2 human rogue, squad 2. Powder Ganger enters the battlefield, disrupts one target artifact. So, hoo-ha. Ruinous Ultimatum. Another on-point reprint. 2 red, 3 white, and 2 black. Sorcery destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control. So, hoo-ha. Next up, we have another reskin. Of course, this is what they call the Pip-Boy showcase artwork. So this is how it would appear in the game. So Scrounging Deathclaw, also Tarmogoyf, which hasn't been reprinted in a bit. Green and 1 for an X and an X plus 1 Lurgoyf that is its power and toughness equal to the number of card types among all cards in graveyards, and its toughness equal to that number plus 1. War Room in the Pip-Boy Full Art Showcase artwork. So it's a land, you tap to add a colorless, or pays 3, tap it, pays life equals the number of colors in your commander's color identity to draw a card. So War Room, nice, of course, a commander staple. Then we have Ravages of War, which is basically Wrath of God for a white and 3 instead of 2 white and 2, and you destroy all lands. Of course, that's kind of a meme for the Planet of the Apes movies. Next up, dear friend of mine, DJ Longhair, he loves squirrels, and he definitely wants to pick up a copy of this just as a single. Animal Friend, green and 1 for enchantment or enchant creature. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on that token for each aura equipment attached to this creature other than Animal Friend. So again, it fits into that Naya equipment and enchantment deck. Next up, we have Ian the Reckless. So, a red and 1 for a 2/1 legendary human warrior. Whenever he attacks, if it's modified, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to you and any target. Oh, so yeah, that's the drawback. So, and when it's modified, it means it has equipment, auras, and counters. Interesting. Next up, we have Silver Shroud Costume. So 2 mana for an artifact equipment with flash. When it enters the battlefield attached to target creature you control, that creature gains Shroud till end of turn. An equipped creature can't be blocked and equipment for 3. Yo! Yo! Oh! The only drawback to Shroud is you can't enchant it any further. But it can't be affected by any targeted spells that you control till end of turn either. So, hoo-haw. Next up, we have what's going to start to be the rare land cycle for the deck, and this is the Desolate Mire, which is a land. You pay 1, you tap it to add a white and a black. Then we have Junk Jet, which is a red and 1 for an artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, create a junk token. Pay 3, sacrifice another artifact, double equipped creature's power until end of turn, and equip for 1. So it's designed to run off all your junk tokens. Next up, we have Veronica, Dissident Scribe. A red and 2 for a legendary human, a 3/3 legendary human artificer rogue with menace. So 3/3 for 3. Whenever she attacks, discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So some card draw. And whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards for the first time each turn, create a junk token. So card draw and some junk tokens. That seems pretty decent. Next up, we have Ferris Lake. So pay 1, tap it to add a blue and red. We have Ash Barrens, which I'm not surprised to see this in here. It's kind of a staple for commander decks. Land, tap it to add a colorless, or has basic land cycling for 1, so you can pay 1 and discard this card and switch your library for a basic land card. And of course, Joey Moss's favorite card, Evolving Wilds. Because we saw in an earlier video, we have Crucible of Worlds. Evolving Wilds is almost a given there. Tap it, land, tap it, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tapped, and shuffle. We have Overflowing Basin. So a land, pay 1, tap it, sacrifice, tap it, add a green and blue. Path of Ancestry, land, here's the battlefield, tap, or tap to add 1 mana of any color of your commander's color identity. When it's used to create cast a creature spell, shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. We have Sunscorched Divide. Pay 1, tap it, sacrifice. I keep saying sacrifice. Tap it to add a red and white. Then we have Terramorphic Expanse, because the card Joey Moss things is trash. Which he's going to have all sorts of memes about this because, look, it's a trash yard, a junkyard. Land, tap and sacrifice it. Search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Then we have Moira Brown's Survival Guide Author. So a red, white, and 1 for a 2/3 human. I don't know. My German is not good. So when she enters the battlefield, create a colorless equipment artifact creature token named Wasteland Survival Guide with the equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each quest counter of permanents you control and equip for 1. Whenever you attack, put a quest 1 counter on target non-land permanent you control. So this works well with the Yes Man as well. So that's going to be interesting. And +1/+1 counters goes in that Naya deck. Next up, we have Codsworth Handy Helper. A white and 2 for a 2/3 legendary artifact creature robot. Commanders you control have Ward 2. Tap it to add 2 white mana. Spend this mana only to cast. Excuse me. Aura or equipment spells. Hoo-ha. And you can tap it to attach target aura equipment you control. Target creature you control activate only the sorcery. This guy is helpful, handy, and a gig goes to that Naya equipment and aura, aura and equipment deck. Except we have Gunner Recruit, which is a green and 1 for 2/2 human soldier. It has trample, and it gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it. When it dies, if it was enchanted, create a junk token. When it dies, if it was equipped, create a junk token. So if it has an equipment and an enchant and an aura attached to it, you can create 2 junk tokens when it dies. Hoo-ha, interesting. Except we have Outcast of the Brotherhood. So a white and 2 for a 3/2 human soldier. Enters the battlefield, choose 1. Turn target's aura or equipment with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield, or put a shield counter on target creature. That sounds fun. Next up, we have Cage Brawler. So a red and a green for a 1/1 legendary human warrior. As long as it's your turn, Cage Brawler has indestructible. Whenever Cage attacks, you and defending player each draw a card, discard a card. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on Cage if the discarded card was the highest mana value among those cards, or if you discarded the card, the highest mana value among those cards, or tied for the highest. So, hoo-ha. Next up, we have Strong Back. So green and 2 for enchantment aura. The enchant creature equipped abilities you activate the target enchanted creature costs 3 less to activate. Aura spells you cast target enchanted creature costs 3 generic less to cast. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to it. Hoo-ha. That goes in that Naya deck for certain. We have inventory management. So a red and a white for an instant with split second, as I explained in an earlier video. Split second stops the stack, and it stops everything until this spell resolves. And for each aura and equipment you control, you may attach it to a creature you control. So you can move your auras and your equipment around basically for free. And it's a split second, so you do it and it happens. There's no countering that or anything. So finally, we have Blasphemous Act, the beefy red and 8 for sorcerer that raises spell costs 1 last to cast for each creature on the battlefield, and it deals 13 damage to each creature. So, that's a lot of stuff, and we're at 21 minutes. So we're going to stop the video and say, see you on the next Fallout video.